Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. Okay, so today I want to work a little bit into the lymphatic system. Um, I've just been thinking a lot about the season, and even though we just got done talking about how those of us in Austin are having really nice weather today, I know that like the majority of people, it's still winter for you, and that involves a lot of being indoors, being bundled, and also a lot of this, a lot of like, uh, you know. So our lymphatic system is one of the most important parts of the systematic body. And if lymphatic flow becomes stagnated or stopped, it can result in a lot of uncomfortable things. One being lethargy. Another could be like a blocked lymph node. And yeah, just for general health and vitality, I thought it would be really useful to take advantage of a practice where we can move and get warm and stretch, but then also tap into the lymph system a little bit. So for this practice, you're going to need a strap if you have one. If you don't have a strap, you could quickly just grab like a belt or the thing off of your bathrobe, the belt off of your bathrobe, or like anything that resembles something along this line. Even a resistance band would work if you have that. It's not a big deal if it has a little bit of elasticity. And then you'll also need a little blankie. I'm using one of these yoga blankets that I have here, but it could be just like a little throw from the couch or a beach towel, something that you can roll up. And then to get started, you're going to roll it. So we're going to start on hands and knees and get into the calves a little bit. So you're going to roll it up as tight as you can. And I'm thinking about 5 inches in diameter. So maybe not all the way. And then you'll take it behind your knees, come forward. This is kind of an awkward position. And you'll just cram it into the crease of the back of your knees as much as you can, and then come back and sit on it. Okay, and that's gonna feel good for about a second. And then it's gonna be like, what? So if that poses a very uncomfortable situation, you can take a block and slide the block just right underneath your butt and your heels to kind of catch some of that weight. But what we really want to do is smash out the calf muscles. So sit your weight back into your heels and just bring the hands onto the thighs. And I know there's some sensation happening there, but we're just going to breathe through it. So take the fingertips up to the shoulders. Inhale, lift the elbows up. Exhale, take it down. So we're making big circles, taking the elbows up and around and up and around. Now I'll talk a little bit about the lymph system and how you can like promote good lymphatic movement and flow. If any of you are into Chinese medicine, there's also this concept of qi, or like in yoga, it's called prana. It's just like your life force energy. So movement generally stimulates energetic flow. Movement stimulates lymph flow. So, and then reverse the circles, go the other way. So by just slow, repetitive movements, we're just encouraging these fluids to just kind of move through the body. Good. And now lean forward, release the block, roll your blanket down about halfway, so between your ankle and your knee, and then come to sit on it again. And once again, you can take the block if you need a little bit of extra support for your butt. And I know that this is uncomfortable, so this time it's going to be right arm up, stretch to the left, and then left arm up, stretch to the right, and we're just going to repeat this while we smash out the calf a little bit deeper. So I know that this is uncomfortable, and that the what's it called, like our reaction is to be like, no thanks, I'm just going to skip this part. I really want to encourage you to stick with this, because the calves are a muscle group that really don't get stretched that much. It's usually the hamstring. So if you can endure just a little bit more of this and incorporate some movement into the upper body. And then we'll take it one more on each side, just gentle reaches. And then come forward, slide the block out. Last one is going to be right over the Achilles tendon, and your butt will probably come right down onto the blanket. So now you're going to get into the front of the ankles and the back of the ankles at the same time. And then from here, interlace the fingers in front of the body, scoop the arms forward and up, inhale, and exhale, take it down. Once again, scoop it forward and up, rotate the shoulders back, scoop it up, open, and scoop, and open. One more, take it all the way up, and release it, and come forward, and let the blanket go. You can just set it over to the side because we will use it again. And this time, take your block and come to sit back on it, or 2 blocks if you have them, or you can just sit on your butt. This isn't like whatever comfortable seat works for you. Get into that seat. And then you'll take your strap or your belt and just open it up a little bit wider than your shoulders. And I'll tell you the secret to this is going to be the wider you open, the easier it's going to be to come back. And the closer your fists are together, the harder it's going to be for you to come back. As you can see, that's about my edge when I bring my hands closer together. Now, because we're not really focusing so much on shoulder flexibility here today, but we're focusing more on movement in this space right here, because this is where there's a big cluster of lymph nodes and passageways. So we're thinking stretch rather than tone. So feel free to just like generously open up the arms and just slide them back and slide them forward. And we'll do this 10 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 'matching up the breath with the movement, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just bring it all the way back up. Take that strap and set it over to the side. The shoulders should be pretty warm now. And we'll remove any blocks out of the way and come on to hands and knees. And guys, you're welcome if you want to take your blanket and cushion your knees for this. Feel free. We'll just be here for a minute though. Moving through cat and cow. So just pressing into the palms. To option for the toes to be tucked or untucked. It's up to you. Drop the belly, inhale, lift, tilt the hips. Exhale, round the back, create that nice arch, hug the belly button to the spine. Inhale, push through and lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale, pull through. And exhale, round. Inhale, take it up. And down. And then from here, for another 5 or 6 breaths, just close the eyes and move freely. So just freestyle it. Take the hips in any direction that you want. If you need to circle out the spine, move the trunk around. Your trunk, by the way, as a human, not an elephant, is your torso, just in case there were any doubts there. You were like, well, I didn't get a trunk. You have a trunk. But take another 2 breaths in any movement that you're in. And then whenever you're ready, blink the eyes open, come back into a neutral tabletop. And just to work into the arms a little bit, just to always adding a little bit of a strength element, you'll walk your hands slightly forward, about half of a hand's distance. Slide forward to stack the shoulders slightly over the wrists, hug the elbows in, lower down, tap the forehead down to the mat. And then exhale, press back up. And we'll do that 4 more times. Inhale to come down. Exhale, press up. If your arms are shaking, so are mine. So this is normal. Inhale to come down. Exhale to press up. Last 2. Inhale, take it down. Exhale, press up. Good strong triceps. 1 more. Inhale down. Exhale, press up. Good. And then come back into a neutral tabletop. Lift the right leg with the knee bent. It's going to be that dog peeing on the fire hydrant thing. And then it's just going to be a big circle. So scooping it in and making a circle. And that's going to get into our lymphatic system around the hip region. So just kind of stirring it up. And kind of going with the breath with a tempo that feels good. And then press down, sit back, and take the hands onto the thighs. Just rest the arms, give the arms a little bit of a break. Good, and then from here, if you want, you can flip the palms and stretch them up. Just open up the shoulders a little bit. And then take them back down, circle out. Good, and then come back, and we'll do the left side. So same thing, left leg rises with the knee bent, and you're just gonna bring it in and scoop it out. And just flow like this at any pace that feels authentic. And think about exaggerating this movement, so really working into the hip socket. Well, let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then sit back, roll the shoulders. Just find a moment of stillness. Let the spine be nice and long. Set the hips back towards the heels. Another breath in. And another breath out. Good. Look forward to the front of the mat. Stand up. And we'll beat there. All right, so I'm going to come to the middle of my mat just so that you guys can see my head. But you can be at the front of your mat. And we'll start by tapping. So I think in one of my classes that if you guys were in last summer, we did this before, but you're just gonna fold forward. And for a second, just dangle. And I'll talk about concentrations of lymph nodes a little bit. So you're gonna have them in the inner ankle. So bring your hands to your inner ankle and your inner arch and just tap. Just like medium pressure, just tapping out that space. A lot of us, every single person in this class right now is a woman. So we tend to hold excess weight where? In our hips, our butts, and our thighs. Now I'm talking about lower body excess weight. So if you're thinking about hips down, excess weight is going to be hips, butt, thighs. So what happens with a concentration of excess weight in those areas? The knees start to cave in and the ankles start to collapse inward. So at the same time that you're doing this tapping, think about pressing into the outside edges of your feet and liberating your ankles a little bit. And now to do that, what muscle you have to use is your anterior hip flexors and your outer hip flexors. So we'll get into that next. Now you're going to move up to the back of the knees, let the head hang, and just tap the heck out of that space. And you can even make little fists and just kind of tap, 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 tap. And move around to the sides, and to the insides. Good. And then from here, come up the outside edges of the legs to the outer hips. All the way to the sacrum. And then press off onto the feet, come up to standing, take your palms of your hands now and your fingers and tap the inner hip, right? Someone walks in the room, they're going to be like, what kind of yoga is this? What is the meaning of this? Okay, and just tap that inner crease. And if you have to pull something back to access it, by all means, get right in there, because this is where those lymph nodes are stored, and this is where they get blocked, especially whenever we sit for a long time. Just tap it out. Good. And now underarms. Get right into the armpit. And then right under the breastbone as well. So just think about this whole little line here, little loop. And then we'll do the other side. And underneath the breastbone. And that whole little curve. Good. And now base of the neck, outer throat edge. Other side. Good. Inner elbow. Other side. And now behind the ear, and you can just gently rub that space because that's a little bit more of a sensitive area. So just think about first 3 fingers, just gently massaging behind the ear and just below the back of the ear, upper neck. And then other side. Good. And then last but not least, take the 2 first fingers to the temples and just gently massage in a circular formation around the temples. And then reverse the direction. Sweet. And if you're not already at the front of your mat, go ahead and step to the front. Feet are going to be hips distance apart. Relax the arms down by your sides, and then we'll just build a little bit of heat by flowing for a few rounds. So inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, bow forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it back up, stretch the sides. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees and bow. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, bowing forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll up to standing, arms out, reach overhead. And then this time, just bend and fold right back in. We're going to add some lunges. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold, step the left foot back. Inhale up, high lunge. Good, and just think about being mindful of all those spaces that we just tapped. So really lifting and lengthening through those spaces, liberating some of that flow. And then as you exhale, take the hands down to the mat, step back, downward facing dog. Slide forward to a plank, knees up or down, doesn't matter. As you exhale, come all the way to the belly. Tops of the feet press down, inhale up, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg comes up. Exhale, step it forward. High lunge on the in-breath. Exhale, hands come down, step right foot to meet the left. Halfway lift when you breathe in. Folding forward when you breathe out. Rolling the body up to standing, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands into the heart. Good. Take a breath to settle. Inhale, take it back up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, right foot steps back this time. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Exhale, hands come down, step back, downward facing dog. Option to flow through a vinyasa. Inhale to plank. Exhale to the belly or halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog on the exhale. And guys, if you're chilling today, you can also just hold down dog. Inhale, right leg comes up and back. Exhale, stepping forward. High lunge, deep breath in. Exhale, hands down, step left foot to meet the right. Halfway lift as you breathe in. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, roll it back up to standing. Exhale to the heart. And let's add a twist. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, breath in. Fold forward, left foot back. Good. Now from here, keep your left palm down as you raise your right arm up. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're going to circle the right arm once, twice, thrice. Good. And then take it all the way down. Step back, downward facing dog. Option for the vinyasa, forward and down. Scooping up for the back bend. Downward facing dog on the exhale. Good. Release it. Nice. And then inhale, take the right leg up and back. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, hands come down. Step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Palms touch overhead. Hands to the heart. Let's do the other side. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot back. So this time the right hand's going to stay down. Left arm's gonna twist up, and then 3 circles, forward and down, back up, 2, and 3. Good, release it down, step back, downward facing dog. Option to flow. And we meet in down dog. Good, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step it forward. Low lunge to high lunge. Inhale as you come up. Exhale, hands down, step forward. Halfway lift, stretch it back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, roll it up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good, so we should be nice and warm now. Pause for a moment in mountain pose, hands together at the center of the heart. Close the eyes, lift the heels. Come to stand on your tippy toes. Good, lower down, pause. Another time, close the eyes, lift, and lower down, pause. Last one, close the eyes and lift, and lower down, and pause. And this time, take the hands down by your sides, and it's just gonna be lift the heels and step back down. And we'll do that 5 times. Lift and step, lift and step, lift up, step down, 2 more, and down. Last one, and down. Good. Come all the way onto the feet. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, hands down, left foot steps back. Drop the back knee. You can bring your blocks in if you like. So it's going to be hands on blocks or fingertips onto the ground. Inhale as you straighten and lengthen. Just slide back. It's almost like you're going to sit your butt down on your left heel. And then exhale, slide forward, drop the hip down. So think about dropping that left side. Front hip flexor gets a big stretch here. Let's do that again. Inhale, slide all the way back, butt towards left heel. Good. And then slide forward, dip the hip down. Last one, inhale, take it back. And exhale, take it forward. Good. And then just reset back into a normal lunge. Lift the back foot, step left foot forward, and step right foot back. So we're going to skip the vinyasa this time and just come right back onto that knee. Good. Inhale, take it back, butt towards the heel, lengthen. Exhale, forward and dip. Good. Inhale, back, lengthen. Exhale, forward and dip. Last one, take it back. And forward, just move the blocks out of the way. Come back into that normal runner's lunge with the back foot lifted. Plant the palms, step back, downward facing dog. And we flow. Inhale forward, exhale to the belly. Scoop it up, upward facing or cobra. Downward facing. Good, and just pedal the feet here. Shake out the hips. Think about stability in the arms, so activation in the arm muscles and the upper back. Think about surrendering heart towards thighs, thighs towards the back of the room, heels towards the mat, butt towards the sky. Good, another deep breath in. Nice, and then raise your right leg up and back. Bend the knee, open up the hip, and just circle it. And you can most definitely do this with the left knee down, just like we did before. So if you're not feeling all that arm strength today, you can do the same thing, okay? If you're in down dog, three-legged dog, it's gonna look like this. Good. And then from here, step the right foot forward. And then out slightly to the right, spin the back foot down. So it's gonna be that warrior one stance when you come up. And I've been calling this warrior 1.5 lately because my teacher is enforcing this rule. So opening your stance a little bit wider so that your hips have that ability to really sink down, but without putting unnecessary tension in the hip flexors, okay? So when you get here, you're gonna inhale, take the arms up overhead. Good, and then interlace the fingers behind the back of the head and just lean the head into the hands. So just a little bit of pressure. Good, and maintaining that lunge, just kind of resting here. A few breaths. Nice, and then release the bind, take the arms up overhead, deep breath in. Exhale, take the hands down. Find your blanket, and you can straighten that right leg for a second just to give it a little bit of a break. And my blanket's a little thick, so depending, I think that about this wide is about as wide as you're gonna want it. And that looks like about 4 inches in diameter, but really you're the judge. It's gonna go into your front right hip crease. So just wedge it in there, hold on to it, and then re-lunge. So now you've got something that can apply a little bit of pressure. And then look down to a block or to your right foot. If you have a block, it's gonna go to the outside of your right foot. Your left hand's gonna go on it. Your right hand is gonna come to your hip, and you're just gonna twist open to the right. Okay? And this is, once you get here, you'll take your right arm up, inhale, and exhale 3 circles. 1, 2, and 3. Good. And then once again, face your torso forward, hold on to your blanket, inhale and lift, and exhale, come forward over that. So we're applying pressure to that right side of the stomach. Inhale, lift, exhale, forward. This is how we massage our internal organs. Inhale, lift, exhale, forward. And then you can straighten the right leg once again, slide that blanket out, set it up to the front of your mat. And then just reposition your legs so that you're in a runner's lunge, plant the palms, step back, find down dog. And then option to flow through a vinyasa, forward to plank, halfway or all the way, upward facing or cobra, downward facing. Good, pedal it out. And then walk the hands backwards to meet the feet. Feet come slightly in towards each other, just about 1 fist distance between. Bend the knees down, drop the hips, sink the weight into the heels. Inhale, arms up overhead, chair pose. Good. Now from here, bring your weight into the right heel, start to lift your left foot up, come to standing, 1 leg mountain pose. Good. Exhale, right hand to the left knee, left arm cactuses and opens. We twist open to the left. Nice. From here, if you feel good, you can hook your big toe. You just have 1 on the left foot. Extend the leg out and stretch it. Good. 1 more breath. Exhale, bring it back. Step it down. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Sway it out. Release that tension in the shoulders, release the head. So resist the urge to look up. Good, and then bring it back to center. Align the feet, Sink weight into the heels, bend the knees, lift the arms, chair pose. Good, sit a little deeper, lift those arms up, heart forward, deep breath in. Exhale. Inhale, slowly rising, taking that right foot up towards the chest. Left hand to right knee, right arm cactuses, and open the chest to the right side. Good, now from here you can stay. If you want the extra challenge, hook the big toe with your peace fingers on the left hand and extend. And are you breathing? Good, slowly take it back. Step it down, soft landing. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, bend and fold forward. And walk the hands back into downward facing dog. Good, stretch it out. We got one more side to do. And then some really nice deep stretches as the dessert, as the whipped cream on top. Inhale, take left leg up. And then bend the knee, open it up, shake it out. You can also come down to the right knee and do this. Good, and then when you're ready, step it forward. Align the feet for that warrior 1.5. Good, and then come up. Arms raise up overhead. So remember, first we're just gonna chill. So take the fingers, interlace them, let the weight of the head come back into the hands. So if you can let go of any rigidity here, the weight of your head will actually force your shoulders to come forward a little bit and open up your chest naturally. So just think about building strength with your own body weight. Good, let the heart rate come down a little bit. Nice. And then inhale, arms come up. Exhale, forward and down, grab your blanket, straighten that left leg. And then again, it's gonna come into that hip crease. And then you're gonna lunge forward and find your block to the outside of the left foot. Or if you don't have a block, you can just bring your fingers down to the ground or onto the left foot. And it's gonna be twisting open to the left arm rises up, deep breath in. Exhale, circle. Inhale up. Exhale, circle. Up. Circle. Good. And then bring everything back to center. Hold on to the blanket as you inhale, raise the chest. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, raise up. Think about left side of the abdomen, pressing into that blanket roll. Inhale, rise up. One more time. Take it down, press in there. And then straighten the leg, release the blanket. Good. Come down into a runner's lunge. Step back, downward facing dog. We're gonna have the option to flow through one final vinyasa. So if you want it, now you can slide forward to plank, lower down, scoop up, and come back into child's pose. So that's where we'll meet. Knowing that the standing poses are done, and just sit for a breath or two in child's pose. Really let the weight of the hips sink down towards the heels. Good, and then when you're ready, start to come out of that, and we'll meet just in a regular seat with the left leg extended forward. So the right foot is going to come into the left inner thigh. And we've been here before in my class, but again, we'll bring the blanket back in. So once again, that blanket roll is going to tuck right into the hip crease. And if you want just to hold it there, you can bring your foot, you can bring the leftover blanket in between your inner thigh and your right foot just to secure it. And then gather all your bellies, come forward so that you can get as far over the left leg as possible with the blanket supporting that space between your upper body and your lower body. All right. And then from here, you have a few options. You can fold. This is great. You can also reach for the foot and twist and take the right arm up. If this feels good, you can let the right arm dangle forward. Okay. So there's 3 different variations you can take. And try in this pose to let go of any rigidity or straining that's happening. So find the easiest variation of this fold. Good, and then from here, start to lift up. Keep your feet exactly as they are, but this time slide that blanket roll underneath your left knee, just for some support. And so that right foot is going to come back. This time we're going to square the hips so that the torso is facing right over the left leg. And then inhale, reach the arms up overhead. And exhale, hinge forward, and then round and fold. So this time the chest wants to come over the left thigh to some degree. That doesn't mean that it has to lay on the left thigh. I know that we're all in like various bodies and areas of interest in that. So what I mean is that your shoulders and chest want to be facing the same plane as your left thigh. And then release. Let's roll back up and let's just take a big stretch. So in any variation of just lifting the arms and sitting up tall. Good. And then when you're ready, release the arms and we'll do the other side. So right leg is going to extend. Left foot comes to the inner thigh, and then the blanket roll is going to come into that thigh crease. And then again, just crawl forward to some degree, whatever you can catch. If it's the floor, the corners of your yoga mat, like a handle somewhere, whatever, foot, ankle, shin, find a comfortable way that you can just fold and melt. And again, if you want to do that side stretch, you can take the left arm up and over. And start to release. Come all the way back up. Release the blanket and roll it up. It's going to come underneath the right knee. Right foot comes back in. Let's reset Arms up overhead, inhale, hinge forward, come down and fold. Good, another deep breath in. Exhale, slowly rise. And then just a big stretch up. Realign the spine and release it. Just a quick forward fold. So you're going to bring that blanket roll under both knees now in the same space where we were tapping earlier. And then if you have a block or two blocks, you can set them up on your thighs and just bring the forehead down. Looks like this. If you want to try it with one block, same thing. If you don't have a block, you can just hinge forward and fold. But I want you to really focus on letting the head and the neck go. So this is not like the standard vinyasa forward fold, Paschimottanasana. You don't need to think about lengthening in the spine and hinging at the hips and all that crap. Really what I want is a release in the back of the neck. And maybe by having this support behind the knees, it's not such a generous pull on the hamstrings. Like I feel like the hamstrings have had enough today. Good, and now slowly start to lift up. And we're gonna make our way onto the back. So you can set the blanket over to the side for now, and then come down onto the back with the knees bent. And it'll first be a reclined figure four. So right ankle over left thigh, pull the legs in and take the bind. We're just gonna release from the hip for a second. Just about 3 breaths here. Good, and now from here, what I'd like you to do is release any bind that you have with the hands. Take the right hand to the right knee, take the left hand to the right foot, and just hold that right leg in its place. And then extend the left leg long, like you're trying to stamp your footprint on a wall in front of you. So that leg is gonna hover over the mat, and then you're just cradling your right leg in. And just continue that resistance of pulling the right leg in and pushing the left leg away for an in-breath. And exhale. And breathe in. And exhale. One more, breathe in. And as you exhale, bend the left knee, step the left foot down, and release the right leg. Take it all the way down the length of the mat first and just shake it out. So let the foot go limp and just shake, 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 shake. Good. And then bend the right knee, step the right foot down, left ankle crosses over right thigh. And we do the other side. So your bind over your shins is going to be deeper stretch. binding behind the thigh is just going to be a little more accessible. Good. And then from here, take your right hand to your right foot, left hand to the left knee, or sorry, right hand to left foot. That would be impossible. And then just hold that left leg in place as you slide the right leg forward and down, hovering it over the ground, pressing the heel away, and take an in breath and an out breath, and an in breath and an out breath. One more, and let it go. Good. And then rebend the right leg, step the right foot down. Left leg comes all the way out in front. Bring it to the ground, let the foot go limp, and then just shake out the leg. Good. And then from here, happy baby, just for a few breaths, just to level everything out. Hands to the outsides of the feet. Pull the feet apart as you pull the thighs parallel to the ground. Let the shoulders relax. And you can also smile. If you smile, it helps make this pose more fun. And you can rock from side to side. And then let's bring the soles of the feet in towards each other. If they can touch, that's great. If not, no worries. Butterfly the knees out away from you. So really stretching into that space where the legs connect to the hips, that inner thigh and groin area, pulling the heels down towards the pubic bone, knees press open. Couple breaths here. Good, and then release. You're gonna bring your feet down to the mat, look over and find your blanket roll. This is gonna be the last bit and probably your favorite. So you'll roll it up all the way and then just slide it underneath that space at the top of the thigh, right below the butt. And then let the legs come down. So coming into Shavasana with supported legs, and the blanket's just going to catch the weight of the upper back of the thigh. So think about that space. And then bring the arms down by your sides. Take an in breath. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Good, do that again. Inhale, fill it up. Exhale, let it go. Inhale from the bottom of the belly, through the middle to the chest. Exhale, chest, middle belly, lower belly. And do that again. Inhale, lower, middle, chest. Exhale, chest, middle, lower belly. Close the eyes. Relax. Shavasana. Bring your awareness to the face, relaxing the brow, relaxing the corners of the eyes, relaxing the eyes behind their sockets. Awareness into the mouth, relaxing lips, jaw, tongue, throat. Shoulder heads, relax them down. Chest opens, heart space, relax. Even the space around the core, if you're holding tension or locking a muscle, just mindfully scanning over that space. The interior side abdomen, letting it go. The arms become heavier. Fingers, thumbs, hands heavy. Feel the weight of your legs dropping down into the blanket. Feel as the blanket absorbs the weight. Relaxation in the knees. Relaxation in the shins and the calves. And into the feet. Just letting them flop open. Letting the body take this corpse-like shape, free of movement. Simply breathing. And if the mind started to wander, just gently coax it back into the present moment. Doing a scan of the senses, noticing the sounds around you. Noticing the taste in your mouth, any smells in the room. And then gently start to brush the thumbs against the fingertips for touch. Feeling your own skin, your own fingers. Wiggling the toes. Circling out the feet. Little stretches. And then pull the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a big squeeze. Press your lower back down into the mat. Press the tailbone down. Pull everything in. And then with one hand, you can just slide the blanket roll out from under. Bring the feet down to the mat. Lift the hips and set them over to one side and then turn over onto the fetal position. So just rolling onto one side, curling up for a moment. And just maybe softly starting to let the light back in, just gently opening the eyes. And when you feel ready, you can press back up into a seat. And just coming into a neutral seat in any fashion that feels comfortable to you, but sitting tall, stacking the spine, letting the head float between the shoulders. Let's take the left hand down to the left side, sweep the right arm up, a little side stretch. And then sweep it around and down, crossing over to the right, inhale, left arm up. Sweep it around. One more time, right side, inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale down. Come back to neutral, bring the hands in towards the heart, bow the chin to the chest. Gratitude for a healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit. And then rub the palms together, create that warmth between the hands, some energy between the hands. And place the hands over the face, just blocking out a little bit more of the light coming inward. And when you feel ready, blink the eyes open into the palms. Thank you guys so much. Namaste. That was awesome. Thank you, everybody. Couple things that we did today that you can repeat anytime that are really helpful. If you can do it daily, it's awesome, is the tapping. So all the places of the body that we tapped today, if you wake up in the morning and just roll with that for 2 or 3 minutes, I guarantee you're going to have a 20% better day than you would have if you had not done the tapping. And if that comes out incorrect, those numbers are wrong, you can email thatladyjade@gmail.com and complain to the management. Okay? Thank you guys.
Thanks, Jade.
Bye.
You're welcome. See you guys soon.